There are two key things you've been doing when trying to heal yourself that are actually keeping you stuck. I've spent almost 5 decades guiding people to the depth of meditation and self-understanding, and I've seen two core patterns that appear again and again. The following talk was recorded during one of my meditation retreats, where we explored what healing and self-understanding actually means beyond all the methods and techniques and philosophies we've been taught. It's not about trying harder, knowing more, or adding more techniques. It's about realizing what's holding you back. If you miss this, you may stay stuck in the struggle to heal. But once you see this clearly, healing will become much simpler for you and far more natural.
What is the point of developing these wild and wonderful and complex healing philosophies to attempt to take care of all the sickness and the insanities and the poor health there is, and completely overlook that you don't need any of that if you just stop harming yourself? But that's overlooked. That we are just harming ourselves. And so therefore we need help. Yeah. But what is the point of helping somebody who is harming themselves? You come to me, you've harmed yourself, I help you eradicate the harm, and you go away and harm yourself again. I'm not going to support you harming yourself by patching you up every time you do. For a little while, until you work out that you're harming yourself and you've got to cut it out. That's okay. I'm not saying I'm rejecting anyone, yeah? But there's a point where you will have to stop harming yourself, yeah? And so every single healer on the planet has completely overlooked this point because they're not harming themselves. They're the unhealed healer is the healer who is still doing all the things that are harmful to themselves. And so they're relying on, their own medicine to try and keep themselves functioning instead of stopping the harm that they do themselves through trying to improve upon themselves, through trying to be something different to what they are. As soon as I try and do something to change what I am opposing myself and I'm throwing myself out of balance. I'm also completely misunderstanding that just because I'm a bit uncomfortable in some area or there's some so-called disruption in the chemistry, what we call sickness or a bit of pain, as soon as I'm in reaction to that, I'm completely overlooking that this is not a harmful thing. This is not there to harm me. This sickness or this imbalance in my chemistry or this bug in my system, as we call it, it's not there to harm me. It's there to heal me. It's just the intelligence of my body going through a natural correction process, which is necessary. I live in an environment with all sorts of things going on. Naturally, every now and then, my system's going to have to deal with some sort of foreign object. Okay? Let it deal with it. It's not harmful. It's not doing me any harm at all. Why am I attacking it with medicine? Why am I attacking my pain and my illness with medicine? My pain and my illness is a corrective process that's taking care of everything itself. It's there to heal me, to evolve, to keep me going in my optimal condition. We have to allow these things, but we don't because we don't understand them. We don't understand that they are a natural process, that they themselves are evidence of the perfect response already. They themselves are evidence that this body is functioning in a perfect way, that it goes through these healing crises itself, all on its own volition, taking care of everything along the way. We don't see this as perfection, we see this as imperfection because we have a medical model of health, and that medical model of health is incorrect. It's not taking into account the ebb and flow of life itself, yeah? And this is the problem with these models, is they don't take into account the full picture of life. They just take the nicest picture of life, the snapshot. The whole human race is conditioned to a perverse and imbalanced concept of perfection. That perfection is that high point. And that's where we strive. And by having that as our high point, it becomes our destruction. Yeah, you go, oh, I had such a good meditation, so it's my high point. So that becomes, from that point on, your misery, because you compare that with next time and next time and next time. So you can't live like this. This is not how life is what I'm saying. This is self-evident. I haven't worked this out, have I? It's worked out for us. All we got to do, be a little humble to life. Yeah, it's all there. If we can just be a little humble, and humbly, when something is going on in our system, humbly go with it. Don't fight it. Give it some regard. Okay. My system knows what it's doing. Yeah. And it should be listened to. Pain and disturbance in the body are things that we should be very humbly abiding by. Not fighting against, but responding to, guided by. Medicine and healing processes not based on being guided by this. Their fundamental process is to attack this. Yeah. Oh, you're out of balance. We better put you in balance. Yeah. And how long is that going to last? You're out of balance for a reason. And until that process can complete itself, you can force it back into balance by having some acupuncture or an operation or having a good diet or going for a run and burning off a few calories. But by putting the ice cream back in there that night, you're going to put the calories back on. So it's no point, is it? Until that process you go through brings you to a point of alignment with what you really want, rather than wanting two things at once. You only want one thing now. Then once you want one thing, you'll have one thing. But when you want two things, you'll have two things. You want to be fat and you want to be skinny, you'll have both. Yeah, that's pretty simple. That's why you're doing both things, to create both scenarios, because you want both. Yeah. When you get to a point where you figure out, I actually don't want both, I only want one of them, it'll be really, really easy. Life is made very difficult for the human being because of wanting more than one thing at a time. So because you want more than one thing at a time, the two things oppose. That's the struggle. That's the struggle you have. I want this. No, you don't. You want that. Oh, yeah, I want that. No, I want this. No, I want that. Yeah, and then life is so hard. Life is very hard when you want two things at once. When you only want one thing at once, it's not only not hard, it's impossible to stop it from coming about. It's actually impossible to stop it from coming about. So wherever you're struggling, identify for yourself with great honesty that you are not wanting it wholeheartedly. You want the thing that's causing the struggle. You want the conflict. You want the duality. You want two things at the same time. You are not wholeheartedly just wanting what you're pretending and telling everybody you want. You only sort of want it sometimes. It ain't going to work. Yeah. When you really want something, you want it 24 hours a day. And that intention creates a pulse coming out of you. Not a conflicted pulse. Not one of tied up in knots in yourself and you're pulsing against yourself. It creates a vibration, emanates a whole electricity from you. And it changes the molecules around you in the atmosphere. Yeah. So now it's not just, you're walking down the road and you have your presence is to your skin. Yeah. It's just up to your skin. And it's one of complete chaos and confusion. And, I don't know. Shall I walk backwards or forwards? I don't know. Yeah. When it is free of wanting two things at once, and that means you recognize that which is harmful, and you simply don't do it. But you can't. How do you not do it? Rather than acting on the urge to perform the harmful habit, any habit that may be, you just feel the urge to do it. And just before you do it, the urge gets the strongest. If you don't know where the urge is or what the urge is, just wait till next time you go to do the thing that you know harms you or undermines the other thing you're trying to do. And as you go to do it, just don't do it. Just feel, and you'll feel it. Oh, I really want to do this. Just feel that sensation. Just feel it. Wherever it is in your body, just feel the intensity of that drive to do the thing that is in conflict with the other thing, and it will burn out. That's how you change habits. That's how you resolve addictions. Simple as that. Your avoidance of that sensation is the continuation of that addictive behavior. Embracing that sensation is embracing your pain. Addictive, undermining behaviors are driven by pain. And you feel that pain, that disturbance inside of you. I'm not saying you have to do this. There's no rush, but I'm just saying how it works. That's all. This is how it works. And you know what? There is no other way. This is the one and only way you're going to resolve an addiction. That's how simple we are. We don't have a whole bunch of ways of doing things. This is just the chemistry. This is just the complexity of religion, medicine, and science and societies. Yeah? Because no one really wants to do the hard thing, So we come up with a whole bunch of alternative things that are half doing it. No one really wants to face their pain, so we all go to a Buddhist meditation camp and repeat a mantra or some technique. Why don't you just face your shit? That's essentially what you're going to have to do. Oh, no. I'll do it slowly. Yeah, you'll be doing it till you're an old monk. Nothing will change. I've never ever seen anything but side effects from traditional meditation. I've never seen anybody improve their intelligence. They feel happier, they feel number. That's all. A little bit numb and a little bit satisfied they're putting in an effort to doing something good for themselves. The problem isn't what you need to do. The problem is what you need to stop doing. Yeah? And that is you need to stop trying to improve upon yourself. You need to stop fixing yourself. You need to stop healing yourself. You need to leave yourself alone. You need to stop doing anything to yourself that you think you need to do. Yeah? Because you don't need to do it. That is perpetuating the harm. When you stop harming yourself, then you'll understand what I mean when I say all medicine is bullshit. All healing is bullshit. It's just a friggin' game. Of course it can't work. We all have a go at the doctors because they're utter failures. We all have a go at the psychs and the psychologists because what they do for people only makes people more insane than what they were when they first went there. And it never works. Of course it can't work. You can't fix something. You have to stop causing it. Yeah? You can't fix harm. You simply have to stop doing harm. And then the harm will heal, or the remnants of previous harm will heal. So the first thing you do, the first step here is wake up to yourself. Yeah. And then the healing starts. Okay? It's not like, sit here, chant your meditation, do your meditation, chant, practice all your techniques and all your belief systems, and one day you'll become enlightened and then you'll stop harming yourself and other people. That's the goal. Here, we start with the goal. First is the enlightenment. Wake up. You're hurting yourself. You're responsible for the harm you're doing yourself. But you can't even stop yourself from doing it. So you need more understanding than just that instruction. Stop harming yourself. Yeah, sure, Matthew, that's great. How am I going to do that? How am I going to stop harming myself? You're going to see the things you do that do harm you. And before you perform that action, before you do that, feel the sensation behind it. And in that sensation is your pain. So how you're going to stop harming yourself is you're going to have to heal your pain. Stop avoiding your pain. If you avoid your pain, you will harm yourself and other people. If you do not avoid your pain, you will stop harming yourself and other people. Stop avoiding your pain. Actually, that's what it comes back to. Stop avoiding the sensation of your pain. And when you do avoid your pain, that's when you'll start harming yourself. If you avoid your pain, you will act on it. As I'm saying, don't harm yourself. So don't judge yourself for avoiding your pain. Don't be hard on yourself for not doing what I'm saying. Then you're just harming yourself. So you can't even react to yourself for being so pathetic that you can't even do what I'm telling you to do. Yeah? You can't even judge yourself for being pathetic. You can't even do that, because if you do that, you're doing it wrong too, aren't you? Yeah, I'm saying stop harming yourself, and you go, hey, I'm too pathetic to stop harming myself. Now, if I get upset with myself for being pathetic, I'm just compounding the bloody mistake. So all you're going to have to do is just admit you're pathetic, okay? Without any judgment at all behind the word. The pathetic isn't a judgment. It's not a criticism. It's a description of somebody being so lame they can't even stop harming themselves. Okay? That to do something that's so basic, you just can't bring yourself to do it. That's pathetic. It's not a criticism. It's a description of our conditions. This is why I'll always have a go at all these healers and helpers, because they're missing the point. They're part of the problem. They're born of the problem. How does the healing profession come about? It's secondary to the whole human race harming themselves. And how did that come about? Religion. That's why I don't like religion. Belief systems. Believing in God and thinking you're lesser. Trying to be something you're not. All of that stuff is how we harm ourselves. So you can't do this to yourself. And you come back to the basic understanding of yourself as a living organism. Is this what my system wants right now? Your body will always have the answer for you. Doesn't mean you have to be obedient to that answer. But if you are obedient to that answer, you're an intelligent person. In that moment, you're intelligent. If you're disobedient to that answer that your body has for you, then in that moment, you're a fool. But gradually, you're going to discover you don't have to. You don't have to do shit that's harmful. And that is the main ingredients. You have to stop harming yourself. But where you are still harming yourself, you mustn't be hard on yourself. You have to understand that you are still harming yourself because there's a shitload of pain driving that harm that you just can't quite bring yourself to embrace yet. Yeah? But don't forget it's there. Don't overlook it. Keep trucking on. Yeah? Eventually you will embrace it. But don't overlook it. Don't be hard on yourself for not embracing that pain. But understand that your pain is your guiding force. Your pain is in charge, even if you'd rather think not. So avoiding the boss is not a good idea. It will destroy you if you do. You have to really stay close to that pain. Stop harming yourself. So that's what you're doing here. You're sitting here and you're leaving yourself alone, and you're discovering how harmful you can be to yourself. That's the only problem, harming yourself. Stop worrying about, getting help or getting healed. Just be honest. Stop doing the shit that's harming you. If you don't want that sickness or this problem, get back to what's driving you to do the things that are creating these. Get back in touch with what's driving you, the feeling in you that drives you to do that. And there's your healer. That feeling, your pain is your healer. Feel that. And that will resolve the problems that come because of that. That's all you got to do. Isn't that great? Hey, how simplified is that? I can get back to the origin of these problems for and within myself and solve it there. But you got to do that. You got to be honest with yourself. At first, because of the impact of the harm, which is how much pain we have harbored within us, there is the difficulty to do things that are good for us. It's difficult for us to look after ourselves when we're driven by pain. Because, and this is correct too, this is not wrong. The reason it's difficult to look after yourself is because there's pain harbored within you. And the natural corrective process is that pain harbored within you needs attention. It needs to be known. You need to be sensitively attuned to that so that you respond to that pain and live your life in consideration of that condition so that it can heal. So you're blasting ahead in life and you're ignoring your pain is going to manifest in certain ways. It's going to express itself, and therefore you will do harmful things. You will find it difficult to do healthy things or things that are helpful to you because your pain will create a resistance to do anything that's good for you. It will stop you from removing the symptoms it's been working so hard to create. Yeah. So your pain works so hard to create physical and behavioral symptoms of its own presence. Why does it do that? Because it's trying to get your attention. Yeah? It's not an imbalance. It's correct that it's doing this. So you try and get rid of all these symptoms. You try and get rid of all these things, and your pain will do everything it can possibly do to hold you back from succeeding. Yeah. And then when you try and do what's good for you, you'll find it really, really hard. And then when you try and stop yourself from doing what's bad for you, you'll find that really, really hard, because both of these expressions are an expression of harbored pain coming into your attention, into the circle of your attention. And that's why it's doing that. So you become aware of it, feel it, and live in accordance to your condition so that it can heal.
Thanks for watching. If you want to take your meditation and healing journey deeper, download my meditation app Undo, which is available exclusively on my website undoapp.com. Okay, bye for now.